Everybody thinks a gas station is a safe place. It's bright. There are cameras. There's a person behind the counter and coffee in the pot, and 100 little things that say nothing bad can happen here. But think about it for a second. A gas station sits on the edge of everything. The last light before the highway goes black. The one door that stays open when every other door in town is locked. And the person working it, usually alone, has to open that door to anyone who pulls in. For anyone. The 2 stories I'm about to tell you were sent to me by people who worked those overnight shifts. They don't know each other. They worked hundreds of miles apart. But they both learned the same thing. The worst part of the night shift isn't being alone. It's the moment you realize you're not. I worked overnights at a gas station off the interstate for almost 2 years. And I want to be clear about something before I start. I liked it. I liked the quiet. From 11 at night to 7 in the morning, it was just me. The hum of the coolers and the occasional trucker buying coffee and cigarettes. Nothing ever happened. That was the whole appeal. I could read. I could think. I got used to the quiet. I got used to the regulars. And after a few weeks, I got used to him. Every night, around 3 in the morning, the same car pulled in. An old sedan, faded paint, one headlight slightly dimmer than the other. He always parked at pump 4, the one furthest from the door, right at the edge where the light gives out. He never came inside. He never pumped gas. He just sat there, engine off for about 10 minutes, and then he left. The first week, I figured he was on the phone. People do that. They pull over to take a call, to answer a text, to sleep for a minute before they get back on the road. Perfectly normal. The second week, I figured he was waiting for someone. By the third week, I'd stopped thinking about him at all. That's the thing about the night shift. You get numb to patterns. He became like the ticking of a clock, something that was always there, that I stopped hearing. Until one night I decided to be friendly. It was slow, it was cold, and I thought, you know what, this guy's out here every single night, I'll bring him a coffee, break the ice. So around 3, when the sedan rolled in and settled at pump 4, I poured a cup, came around the counter, and pushed open the door. The bell over the door rang out into the dark. And the second it did, the sedan's engine turned over and he pulled away. Fast. Faster than I'd ever seen him move. Out of the lot, onto the road, gone before I even got a foot outside. I stood there holding 2 coffees like an idiot. I told myself he was shy, antisocial. Some people just don't want to be bothered. I went back inside and I let it go. Then a few weeks later, the coffee machine broke. And because I'm the one who has to deal with everything on nights, I stayed late to wait for the delivery guy and the morning manager. Which meant that for the first time in 2 years, I was still standing at that window past 7 a.m. in full daylight. And I looked out at pump 4. The car was there. Same sedan, same faded paint, same dim headlight. But now, for the first time, I could actually see it. Not a dark shape at the edge of the light. The whole thing, clear as day. And there was no one inside. No one in the driver's seat. No one in the passenger seat. Nothing. And the hood. The hood had a thin layer of dust on it. Pollen and grime. The kind that takes days to build up. The kind that says a car hasn't moved in a long, long time. I stood there trying to make it make sense. He was inside the store. No, I'd have seen him. He was in the bathroom. No, I'd locked it hours ago. He walked to the road. To where? There's nothing out there for 20 miles. When my manager got in, I told him, and he just laughed. Said abandoned cars show up all the time, people ditch them and walk off, no big deal. He said he'd run the plate for the tow company and get it hauled away. So he sat down at the office computer and typed in the plate. And then he got very quiet. He didn't laugh anymore. He just sort of leaned back in the chair. And then he turned the monitor toward me so I could see it too. That car had been reported the year before. The owner drove off one night and never came home. And they'd found the sedan, the same plate, the same everything, 2 states away, at the bottom of a lake, with him still inside. The car in my lot didn't exist. It couldn't. The real one was in an evidence lot 400 miles away. I saw the photos later. Same dim headlight. I quit that week. I didn't give notice. I just didn't come back. But here's the part I've never told anybody. The part I think about every single night. On my last shift, 3 in the morning, right on schedule, I made myself walk to the window, and I made myself look out at pump 4. And the car was there. Of course it was. But this time, for the first time in 2 years, the headlights flicked on. Like he'd been coming every night, waiting. And I'd finally noticed him. Which meant now, he'd finally noticed me. The second story came from a woman 2 states over. She only worked at her station for 6 weeks. She'll tell you why. When I took the job, the owner walked me through everything in about 10 minutes. The register, the lottery machine, the coffee, the mop. And then, right at the end, he pointed to a sign taped up next to the register. And he told me there was one rule that mattered more than all the others. Just one. Do not open the back door after 2 a.m. for any reason. I asked him why, and he gave me this answer that sounded rehearsed. He said the lock was old, and the alarm was sensitive, and if it tripped after hours, it was a whole thing with the security company. Easier to just never touch it, and I believed him. Why wouldn't I? It's a gas station. Every place has some dumb rule about a door. For the first few weeks, nothing. The back door was just a door. I'd glance at that sign sometimes and roll my eyes. Then, one Tuesday. I remember it was a Tuesday because the beer delivery had come that morning. I was restocking the cooler around 2:30 in the morning, and I heard knocking. Soft. From the back door. 3 knocks. Patient. Evenly spaced, and then a voice. A woman's voice. She said her car had broken down out on the road, and she was so cold, and she'd seen my lights, and please, could I just let her in for a minute to get warm? And every instinct in my body said help her. She sounded terrified. She sounded like she was crying. It was freezing out. And I'm a decent person. I don't leave someone out in the cold. I had my hand on the deadbolt, and then I saw the sign. So instead of opening it, I keyed the little intercom on the desk phone, and I told her. I said, I can't open the back door. It's against the rules. But if you come around to the front, I'll unlock the front for you and you can wait inside where it's warm. And she went quiet. Completely quiet. And then she said something I have never been able to forget. She said, "No, the front is too bright. Just this door." I took my hand off the bolt. I stepped back. And I did not move again until the sun came up. Around 3, the knocking stopped. It didn't get angry. It didn't get louder, it just stopped. Like whatever it was had simply decided to wait. The next morning, I told the owner, and I expected him to shrug it off, tell me it was some drunk woman, tell me I did the right thing following the rule. Instead, he sat down, slow, like his legs just gave out under him, and he told me the truth. He said that in the 11 years he'd owned the place, 4 different people had worked the overnight shift, and 2 of them had opened the back door. Neither of them was ever seen again. No bodies, no sign of a struggle, no footage of them leaving. They opened the back door, and they were simply gone by morning. I asked him why he didn't just brick the door up, wall it off. And he looked at me and he said, "Because it doesn't need the door. The door is just the polite way in. It asks first. If you brick it up, it stops asking." He pulled the tapes from me. He wanted to show me there'd been nothing out there. He scrubbed back to 2:30 the night before, to the camera on the back lot. And he was right. There was nothing. No woman, no broken down car, no one standing at the door. The lot was empty. But then he saw it too, at the same moment I did. The handle. The back door handle was turning. Slowly. Back and forth. Gently. On its own. With no one there to turn it. Testing. I worked there 4 more weeks. I needed the money. And she came back. Most nights, actually. Always around 2:30. Always the same 3 soft knocks. But something changed. She learned my name. I don't know how. I never gave it to her, but now when she knocks, she uses it. She says it's soft and warm, like an old friend. "It's so cold out here, just this door." I quit at the end of that month. I taped a new sign under the old one before I left, for whoever came next. It just says, "She knows your name too, don't answer to it." Because whatever's out there in the dark past that door, it isn't cold, and it doesn't have a car. It just wants you to open the door. 2 people. 2 stations, hundreds of miles apart, and they both walked away having learned the same lesson. The night shift will teach it to you eventually, if you work it long enough. It's not the being alone that gets you. It's the moment something out in the dark decides it wants to come in, and it knows that the only thing standing between it and you is whether you decide to open the door. So the next time you pull into a gas station at 3 in the morning and you see one tired person standing behind the glass, be patient with them. Be kind. Because you have no idea what's already knocking. And you have no idea how many nights they've spent learning not to answer. If a story like this ever happened to you on a night shift, leave it below. I read everyone,